Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia, for our elders say the barren, touched in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music. Cry, Caesar, speak. Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
Soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass.
Will you, go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some sport of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let not hinder Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, you bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Let not, therefore, my good friends be grieved, among which Cassius you be one, not construe any further my neglect. That poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets to show the love up to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but my reflection by some other things.
Since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Bad, do you fear it? Then I must think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well.
Men are at sometimes masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is fair a name.
What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time to both meet and answer such high things.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck, but thus much show a fire from Brutus.
Look you, Cassius. The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look chidden like a train. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, and Cicero looks with such fair and fiery eyes, as we have seen him in the Capitol being cross-conference by some senators. Ah, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today, that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
Who offered him the crown?
I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. The rabblemen hooted and clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a steal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
What a blunt fellow is grown to be.
He puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. Tomorrow, if you please speak with me, come to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world.
Indeed, they say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be tyrant then? So vile a thing as Caesar.
Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all of these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
The bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable dangerous consequence. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which would appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Get you to bed again, it's not day. Is tomorrow by the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look at the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I've not slept.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door, who doth desire to see you.
Conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free? By the day, when wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to hide thy monstrous visage?
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night.
Shall I entreat a word?
Aye.
All right.
Give me your hands, all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls betime the time's abuse. If these motives be weak, break off the times, and every man hence to his idle bed. So let tyranny, high-sided tyranny, range on till each man drop lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and steal with valor the melting spirits of women, then countrymen, what spur we any spur but our own cause?
Come on, hero. Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Zacchaeus, well urged. I think it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. Let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody. Gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. We shall be called perjurers, not murderers. For Mark Antony, think not of him.
Yet I do fear him, for the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he could do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should.
When the morning comes upon us, we'll leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves. But all remember what you've said, and show yourselves true Romans.
You've undeadly, Brutus, stole from my bed. As it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
Good Portia, go to bed.
What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which, by the right and virtue of my place, I ought to know of. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that appertain to you? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy. Giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh, can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Ye gods, render me that worthy of this noble wife. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho! They murder Caesar."
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of the house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There's one within, besides the things that we've heard and seen, recounts most horrid things seen by the watch. Graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided? Whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House. He shall say you're not well today.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor, I will stay at home.
Caesar, all hail, good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arms so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth?
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, "Lo, Caesar is afraid"? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to our proceeding bids me to tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. The Ides of March are come.
Caesar, but not gone.
Hail Caesar. Read this schedule.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Medalist Cimber throws before thy seat an humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in thy great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star. That I was constant, Caesar Cimber should be banished, and constant to remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak, hands for me.
To Brute. Then fall, Caesar.
Liberty. Freedom. Annie is dead. My sisters are playing crying out in the streets.
Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood, up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. And then we forth even into the marketplace, waving our red weapons o'er our heads. Let us cry, peace, freedom, and liberty!
And what? How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport? Now on Pompey's basis lies along no worthier than the dust!
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called, the men that gave their country liberty.
I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of this world.
Antony, beg not your death of us, though we may appear most bloody and cruel. To you our swords have laid in points, Mark Antony. Our hearts do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
I doubt not your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? That I did love thee, Caesar. Oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony making peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes in the presence of thy corpse? O world, thou wast the forest of this heart, and this indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer struck in by many princes dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony, I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact do we need to have with us?
You shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else where this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am moreover suitor that I may in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. You do not consent that Antony speak at his funeral. Know you how much the people might be moved by what he will utter?
By your pardon, I myself into the pulpit first, and shall the reason of our Caesar's death, it shall advantage us more than do us harm.
I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body, You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you could devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission.
Be it so. I do desire no more. Oh, pardon me, thou bloody piece of earth, thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. That this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion men groaning for burial.
Romans, countrymen, and friends, hear me for my cause and be silent that you may hear. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say, Brutus's love to Caesar was no more less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living than die as slaves? Who is here so rude would not be a Roman? Who is here so vile that would not love his country? If any speak, for him I have offended.
None, Brutus!
None, Brutus.
None.
None.
Then none I have offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not. With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have here the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live, live!
Live.
For Brutus's sake, I am beholding to you. You gentle Romans, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me, my heart is in the coffin there with Caesar.
We'll mutiny.
We'll mutiny. Away then. Come, seek the conspirators.
Yet hear me speak, countrymen, yet hear me speak.
Peace ho, here, Antony.
Here, Antony.
Most noble
Most
Antony.
noble Antony.
Why, friends, you go to do what you know not. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every single man, 75 drachmas.
Oh, most noble Caesar.
Royal Caesar.
Now let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
Most noble brother, you've done me wrong.
Thanks be ye gods. Wrong I mine enemies? If not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them...
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly. I know you well.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You've condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardinians, wherein my letters were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
At such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear this comment.
Let me tell you something, Cassius. You yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold to undeservers.
Aye, an itching palm. You know that you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods the speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius doth honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement!
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What shall one of us that struck but for supporting robbers shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes? I'd rather be a dog than such a Roman.
Brutus, you forget yourself to hedge me in. I'm a soldier.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself. Have a mind upon your health, tempt me no further.
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
Aye, all this and more. Fret to your proud heart pray. Go to your slaves, show how choleric you are. From this day forth, I shall use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Does it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I should be glad to know of noble men.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I shall do that I may be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There's no terror, Cassius, in your threats. When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal encounters from his friends. Be ready with all your thunderbolts, dash into pieces.
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. But Brutus hath rived my heart. My friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not until you practice them on me.
Love me not.
I do not like your faults.
Friendly eye could never see such faults.
And flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, come, O young Octavius, come! Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius, for Cassius is aweary of the world.
Sheathe your dagger.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke, I was ill-tempered too.
You confess so much. Hear him.
My heart too.
Oh, Brutus.
What is the matter?
Are you not love enough to bear with me when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius, and from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, you should think your mother chides and leave you so.
Let me go in to see the generals. There is some grudge between them. 'Tis not meet that they be alone.
How now, what's the matter?
For shame, you generals! What do you mean? Love and be friends as two such men should be.
Violate not this cynic rhyme.
Get you hence, sir, and saucy fellow hence!
Bear with him, Brutus, 'tis his fashion.
I'll know his humor when he knows his time. What should the wars do with these jigging fools? Companion hence!
Away, away, be gone. I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I am sick with many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears no better. Portia is dead.
Oh. Insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, in grief that young Octavius with Antony have made themselves so strong for her death, and tidings come with this, she fell distracted, and with her attendants absent. So,
And died so.
even so.
Oh, the immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this I bear all kindness, Cassius.
Oh, my heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
I have received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power.
I myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That, by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died. Well, to work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi, President?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. It is better that the enemy see that without he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Our legions are brim full. Our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads into our future. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures.
And if your will go on, we'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
Deep of the night has crept upon our talk. Nature must obey necessary. Is there no more to say?
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow we will rise and hence.
Noble Cassius. Good night. Good repose.
Oh, my dear brother. This was an ill beginning to the night. Never come such division twixt our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night. Good brother. How ill this taper burns. Who comes here? Art thou a thing? Art thou some god, some angel, some devil that makes my blood cold and my hair to starve? Speak to me what thou art.
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee, thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, then I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Why? I will see thee at Philippi then.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and the upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand.
I know wherefore they do it.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something is to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand eye, keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so. Mark Antony, shall we make sign of battle?
No, Octavius, we will answer on their charge. Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live! Hail Caesar!"
Antony! The posture of your blows are yet unknown, but for your words, they rob the Hybla bees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless too.
Oh, yes, and soundless too, for you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Oh, villains, you did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides up Caesar. You fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca like a cur behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers. Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Look, I draw a sword upon conspirators. When think you this sword go up again? Never, till Caesar's 3 or 30 wounds be well avenged, or until another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst die before traitors bringest them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius, still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall.
I do find it cowardly and vile for fear of what might fall. So prevent the time aiming myself with patience to stay of the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome.
No, Cassius. No. I think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will ever go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this day must end the work of the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, everlasting farewell take. Forever, forever, Cassius.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true this parting was well made.
Why then, lead on. A man might know the end of that day's business ere it comes. But it's sufficient that the day would end, and then the end is known.
Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early, who, having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly further off, my lord, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents, my lord. Fly, therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off.
That's far enough. Look, are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
If thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him till he hath brought thee up to yonder troops and here again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
This day I breathed first. Time has come round. And where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run its compass. Oh, coward that I am to live so long. Come hither, sirrah, and with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilt, and when my face is covered, as 'tis now, guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged! It was the sword that killed thee.
But Cassius is no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set, our day is gone, clouds, dews, and dangers come, our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Where doth the body lie? Please, Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Spirit walks abroad and turns our swords into our own improper entrails. And here two Romans, living such as these. The last of all the Romans. Fare thee well. Is it possible that ever Rome should breed thy fellow? Come, the field. Set our battles on 3 o'clock. And Romans, yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight. Come, poor remains of friends, rest on this rock.
Julius showed the torchlight, but my lord, he came not back. He is or ta'en or slain.
Sit thee down. Slaying is the word. It is a deed of fashion. Hark thee.
What? I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
Peace, then. No words.
I'll rather kill myself. Shall I do such a deed?
Shall I do such a deed?
Oh, what ill request did Brutus make to thee?
To kill him. Look, he meditates.
Now is that noble vessel full of grief, that it runs over even at his eyes?
Come hither, just a word. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me 2 several times by night, at Serratus once, and this night here in the Philippi fields. My hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I'm sure it is. Thou seest the world. Look how it goes. Our enemies have us beat to the pit. It is more worthy to leap ourselves than tarry till they push us.
Oh, fly, my lord, there is no tarrying here.
Fare thee well, countrymen. My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man in but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius, more than Mark Antony, by this vile conquest shall attain unto. So very well at once. Brutus tongue hath almost ended his life. Night hangs upon mine eyes. My bones would rest. I would have labored to attain this hour.
Oh, fly, my lord, fly!
Hence, I will follow. Caesar, be still. I killed thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
Master's man. Where's thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in. The conquerors can but make a fire of him. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death.
All that served Brutus, I will entertain them. Fellow, wouldst thou bestow thy time with me?
Octavius, then. Take him to follow thee, that did the latest service to my master.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general, honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So, call the field to rest and let's away, depart the glories of this happy day.